Hello friends, today's video is a VR for Shane of Shoebox Legends.
How much money we got in that shoebox?
Shane has asked us to talk about how our collecting has changed.
Change is inevitable.
So, without further ado, let's just get started.
Hello friends, I am John and I am the 3D 80s kid.
In order to answer Shane's question, I decided to take a look back at actually when I started YouTube and see where my collecting was at then, and let's see how much YouTube has influenced things and along the way. So to start things out, let's analyze where I was at. Let's take a look right here. So as you can see, I had one case and I couldn't even fill the case yet with graded cards. Some of those holes are filled in by those Circle K cards. I see Babe Ruth up in the top. What's that, Lou Gehrig down in the bottom, and there's another hole there on the bottom row between Willie Mays cards. That's probably another Circle K card filling that gap.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
The top row is not even baseball, so clearly I had already started my Willie Mays run of Topps cards.
What a great way to go.
You can see the 58 there, right in the middle, would have been my oldest. They aren't exactly in order since I'm seeing 62, 63, 60, and 65 there in order. But that 60 is actually my originally purchased first vintage card, first Willie Mays card that was in a PSA holder that was 60 Topps, because then the one I replaced it with is actually in the row behind my big fat head.
I mean, look at his head. It's huge.
In order of year. So. And then I think I also have an extra 72 that's right next to the 58 because I didn't have my 59 yet. And that 72 is in a PSA holder while I have a replacement already down in the bottom row. So I still hadn't, exercised my non-tuxedo wearing demons from the wall.
How to exercise demons.
You can see a Beckett case up there in the Nolan Ryan. And then you also see what was the start of my 1960 collection, where you've got the Eddie Matthews, the Bob Gibson there.
Beautiful.
And that, then proceeded to, let's take a look behind there, to where I now have a whole case full of 1960 Topps.
That's awesome.
Look at that. Nice. So I progressed from there because I was already on the path at that point that I really wanted to try to collect Hall of Fame baseball players. And at that point, I was only stuck on the fact that I loved 1960 Topps. So, and then you can also see now, once again, let's take a look. The 56 Ted Williams is there. So I'd also decided that in cases where things don't perfectly fit, I was going to buy cool cards I liked. So
It's good strategy.
So, that's something that has stuck with me to this point as well. But where I did change, and YouTube and other YouTubers, influenced me, it was some of these cards here. From 1960, I ended up going to another set, thanks to lots of videos on the last Clemente Day, with the most influential being Lou Rock pleading through that screen that if you don't own a Clemente card, you absolutely need one.
Without it, you'll die.
And I listened, Lou, and that's where I came up with this one. I decided that was the one for me, 1972 Topps. And from there, now that has progressed to me collecting Hall of Famers or special cards from that set as well, which, now let's take a look over on my sidewall over here. You can see the top there is the top half there is the 1972 Topps cards I have.
Great stuff.
So that has progressed. The next thing that happened along the way, this is the only one I think out of this bunch that was not influenced at all by another YouTuber. It's just a case where I saw this card and it was just, I knew I had to have this card. I was in love with the card the moment I saw it. I knew it was for me. I knew it was going to be in my collection.
It will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine.
And that was this one here, the 53 Bowman Roy Campanella, which then started my love affair with the 53 Bowman color set.
Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it.
I know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
And once again, a few of those are over on this sidewall case out over here. where we've got the 72s on the top, the 53s down there on the bottom. But love 53 Bowman color. I'm aiming to collect the folks in that set that were not within 60 tops. So I'm not going deep really in any Hall of Famers outside Willie Mays. I'm trying to collect one card of each of them in a set that I find appealing. So
we must all have goals.
Next card was just a momentary diversion that I have shown before. That was thanks to Picker Jim. And, it was an intentional of him. He does tend to show some random pickups because he's a guy who just loves every card out there.
I love everything.
And will pick up whatever strikes his fancy. And he happened to show a 1940 play ball Richard Kaufman. And that is my last name with the exact spelling. And so then that sent me down a spiral of finding out who had my last name in baseball. And it turned out there were only 3 guys, so it wasn't too hard. And none of them were of any consequence, so the cards were all commons. And so I was able to pick up this guy here, being my prime representative, Richard Kaufman's rookie card in 33 Gowdy. So that was a fun side diversion.
Why? Because you have the same last name.
The next card where I was influenced, I think it was a couple different people. I know at least one of them was Doug of Decon's Cardboard, I believe showed one of these. I can't remember who else, but it was my first pre-war card at all, and it is amazingly affordable for the level of fame this guy had. And it turns out it's the only really such case of them being so affordable that you can buy one for less than $100 raw, and that would be this Napoleon Lajoie game card. The reason they're so plentiful and you can get them where they end up grading like this one as an 8 is that they're actually from a Parker Brothers board game from 1913.
That was a long time ago.
And there were 50 cards that came in the box. So the fact that they were stored within a game box preserved a lot of these in really good condition. So, but that was a cool card to get my first one going that far back in time. But then continuing on, I did feel like the game card itself just didn't feel quite like a real baseball card.
They look like the real thing.
I mean, I know it's a really awesome picture of a great Hall of Famer. I mean, top vote getter of the second class of the Hall of Fame. But it's not really a baseball card. It was a game.
I mean, we're splitting hairs here.
Sam?
So I wanted a real baseball card of that era. I'd seen so many people show pre-war cards, your T205s, T206s, all these other letter Ws and all these. And I just wanted a piece of that, and I found one that was affordable for me. And my first journey then in a real pre-war baseball card with this T205 of Fred Clark, who was also a Hall of Famer. Not obviously of the level of Napoleon Lajoie, but still a very excellent player. Spent most of his career with the Pirates. Playing and managing Honus Wagner. So,
Excellent choice.
That's Fred Clark there. So that's my change and my dip into real pre-war cards there. My other thing that happened was also something that just struck me when I saw this picture, and I saw immediate resemblance with one of the great YouTubers in our community. And that was this card here, a 1957 Topps Don Besant, which if you look real closely at the face, it very closely resembles Dave of Blue Jacket 66. And I made a silly video about that fact. And then since then followed it up with one on Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards. And this brought along this new quest of continually keeping my eye open for the next one that looks like a YouTuber. And I have a new target, and so video number 3 of that series will be coming along eventually. But that's a fun other diversion that, never would have happened without the fact that I'm part of this community now. So the very last change I would say that has happened in my collecting was another Decon Cardboard showing that has led me down a pathway. Not ready to reveal that secret fully yet.
Just keep it for myself.
No. But this is the card he showed that I have also duplicated in my collection. And that is
Winston Churchill. Call him Church for short.
Is this 1901 Ogden's Guinea Gold cigarettes. Sir Winston Churchill. And this was when he was a senior war correspondent with the Morning Post. So, but technically this is Winston Churchill's rookie card. So
Rookies.
There'll be video, and once I have this project all together, there'll be a big video reveal of what's been going on. It's become a little bit of an obsession I've had on this particular project that has been fun and time-consuming, and just a lot more research based to figure out the cards I'm going to be collecting as part of it. So
There'll be more. There's got to be more.
But so that is my cards, my changes that have happened to me since YouTube. So I don't know what this guy here would have thought about all that, but this guy here has had a lot of fun along the way. Thank you, Shane, for putting this VR out in the community. You have a great channel, almost daily content, or pretty much every day. You show amazing things, really great to watch. So glad you decided to flip the camera around, so now we get to see you in person. So that is definitely a great addition.
Thank you, Shane.
But thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.
See you next time.